Hey there guys, welcome to my latest review. Now that Resident Evil series is done, or at least my reviewing is, I don't plan on reviewing any of the side games. I've reviewed the main 6 in a day and a half. I'm done. Now I'm going to review a few more recent games. I'm going to review the games that have come out in the last couple of months, such as Far Cry, Hitman, Dishonored, Halo and Black Ops. So, let's get started with Hitman. So Hitman Absolution is, I'm pretty sure, either the 4th or the 5th game in the Hitman series. Now, I haven't actually played the others. I remember I played the demo of Blood Money last year, and I really didn't like it. It didn't appeal to me, or at least the demo didn't. I don't know how the main game turned out, because, like I said, I didn't play it. Sorry, different review just finished. However, I really did enjoy Hitman Absolution, because of the many different ways you can go about doing things. While the game is primarily based on being stealthy, you can also go around and do other things. Such as, you can straight up gunfight, which is not as fun as it could be, but for a gunfight in a stealth game, it's fleshed out fairly well, especially with the ability, which is a sort of, it's called point shooting, but it's basically slow motion bullet time. It is. It's Matrix. It's Max Payne. It's Deadeye off Red Dead Redemption. You place markers on a person's body, you click the fire button, and it shoots wherever you've put the markers. So it's pretty much a kill everything in the room instantly. Unless you're on the harder difficulties. Then you just don't have instinct, then you just don't have the ability. Because the game features a sort of mechanic, sort of like detective mode from Arkham Asylum in City, where you can make everything in the world go a bit slower, and you can sort of detect things. It's called instincts, where for example, if you're walking by enemies and you use your instinct, he'll sort of like cover the barcode on the back of his head and suddenly they don't know who you are. Because apparently, because basically he's gone rogue. He was sent to kill his handler from the other games, as far as I'm concerned, or known, called Diana Burnwood. He shoots her, and straight after that he has a change of heart, and instead of being a cold-blooded killer, he becomes a cold-blooded killer with a heart for another cold-blooded killer in training, this little girl. Because he was biologically made to be a killer, and so is this little girl. So now he wants to help her not go into the same life as him. So he goes rogue from the company and, well, they want to kill him. But apparently, they can't tell who he is unless they read that barcode. So they can't tell who the big scary bald man in a big scary suit is without scanning the back of his head. So, the best stealth person ever, Agent 47, decides to cut a bit of the skin off and put a bandage over it. A band-aid or whatever you call them in America, I'm not sure. And that really annoys me, because it's so obvious who he is. Literally. People who haven't played the Hitman games probably know who he is. They might not know he's called Agent 47, but before maybe when the game came out, if you showed me a picture of Agent 47, I'd say, yeah, that's the guy from the Hitman games. So the fact that the agency that he worked with and became the most notorious member in there cannot tell who he is just because of that annoyed me. And apparently every single gardener knows every other gardener ever. Because while if you get too close to a normal guard, they will start to suspect you, if you take the outfit of a gardener, every other gardener that you meet in that level recognises you. It's as if the clothes take on the person's skin, which it just doesn't. However, while I might be ragging on the game quite a bit here, I'm just pointing out a few flaws. The game does a few things incredibly well. The stealth, for one. The stealth, for two. And the stealth, for three. If I had to choose, well, let's say 3 stealth games. Thief, Splinter Cell games, and Hitman Absolution. I'd choose Hitman because, one, me and Splinter Cell never got along because mandatory stealth and me will get into a fist fight one day. It's just going to happen. And Thief, well, I just didn't really enjoy it. I like stealth games to be open, but not that open, if you get what I mean. Anyway, some of the things that Hitman does poorly is the villains and more goddamn quick time events. I've only just going on about quick time events for 5 minutes in my last review, and now I'm gonna have to do it again because one of the big bad bodyguards of the game is this massive Mexican guy, and he is like larger than any human being ever. And somehow he is like immune to being strangled, because the very first time you see him, Agent 47 tries to like garrote him with the fibre wire. I don't care how big you are, that thing goes into your throat, that foot goes on your back, and that pull, you're dead. You're choking to death. Not him. He manages to get the strength to grab Agent 47 and throw him through a door. What? And for like half of the game, this guy is in most of the cutscenes where the main villain's some Texas guy is. And one of the boss fights is a sort of boxing match with this big Mexican. And suddenly, guess what this fight is? Because it can't be just a straight up shootout, and it's got to be a melee because it's a boxing. But the game doesn't know how to do boxing. Melee system. No! Melee. We are going to do quick time events, is what Square Enix decided. And that's what they did. It is one big continuous pattern of quick time events. You know, this year is the game of quick time events trying to piss me off. It's just a fact. Right. 6 minutes already. Wow. This review went quicker than the last one. I really do like this game, despite the things I have problems with. At the moment, I only play it every so often, and I usually replay the first couple of levels, because the first couple of levels are more fun for me than the later few, because it's more stealth-based. The later few is more fire, escape from the police. Don't like that. Mirror's Edge, or whatever the game was called, was all about running from police, and that annoyed me too. So guys, if you enjoyed wow, something's wrong with me. If you enjoyed this review, please go ahead and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye.